Pretty Truth Remains. I'm your host, Latanya. I'm here today with the third part of the Fear series entitled Fear of Healing. Not everyone is afraid of healing, but there are legitimately a group of people afraid to be healed. Let me explain why. When you lose someone that you love, it hurts. People gather around you, people come to support you, and all of that is fine. But at some point, those people will disperse. Those people will go back to their lives, will go back to doing what they do, and you are left with your feelings, your emotions, and your thoughts. Now, the fear of healing comes into play when you're feeling good or you're feeling better and you do not identify that you're feeling better. Instead, what you become accustomed to is not feeling well. It's feeling sad and feeling lonely and feeling depressed. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. There are some people that are legitimately sick, but there's also some people that are in the process of becoming healed from their dark thoughts, the sadness, and the loneliness, but they will not identify with it. Meaning, you just lose someone and you're having a rough time, a really rough time. So you have your support system around you, but the moment the support system leaves, you don't gravitate to the pull that's pulling you, which is the healing. The place of being sad becomes so comfortable because you get catered to. People gather around you. People come and, check on you. They calling you constantly, cooking you food, bringing you food over, coming to visit you. When that stops, your healing should not stop. When that stops, what should happen is you begin to speak healing over your life. It's okay to say, today is a little bit easier than yesterday, or today is a little bit easier than 3 months ago. That's okay to say. It does not mean that you love the person less. It does not mean that you don't miss the person. It means that you're now learning how to cope with them not being here. If you speak to someone else, let's say a sibling, and God forbid you guys have lost your mom, just because your sibling is still crying, it does not mean that they love your mom more than how you loved your mom. Doesn't mean that. It means you've acquired the skills of coping with mom not being here. They are still learning how to cope with that. It may be more difficult for them to realize, I have to live the rest of my life without my mom. So I want to help you get to the place of accepting your healing so that you then can go and help your siblings accept their healing. I say it's a fear of healing because it means don't be afraid to get past the sting of death. Don't be afraid to move past and allow it to hurt less. Don't be afraid of that. Embrace it. The coping skills that you acquired are now required in someone else. So what you've done to cope with the loss of a parent or whoever you lost, you can now help someone else with the skills that you've acquired to cope with the loss. So we are all interconnected, right? Everyone in this earth is interconnected. And what you go through may not be exactly what I go through. But in your experience and you sharing with me can help me through what I'm going through. So your healing is not just based upon your progression, it's also based upon my progression. So what you've done to cope with the loss should be shared with me so that I can learn to cope with the loss. Now, I may take your experience and alter it just a little bit to what I need. But the fact that you're open to it, open to sharing, and the fact that you care enough to talk to me helps me cope, and is received with love. Not everyone will understand the fear of healing. It's a real thing. You know, like I said before, I'm a nurse. I've spoke to numerous amount of people. Some are doing great with their healing. And there's some people that just can't get a hold on the healing. They just can't. They understand it, but they just can't. They will not allow themselves to heal because being sick or being sad or depressed is more comfortable to them than accepting the healing. They're actually actively fighting the healing. And I don't want you to think I'm being insensitive. It's a real thing. I wouldn't speak on it if it wasn't a real thing, or if I didn't have experience with dealing with this. The healing process is a healthy process. It's okay to allow your healing to come and to verbalize, I feel better today. It don't hurt as much as when it first happened. That's okay. That does not mean that you don't love the person like you did before. It doesn't mean that. It just means simply that you're coping with the loss. You are coping with the loss. And that is a good thing, because now you are at the level where you can help someone else. And that's what this is about. We need to help each other heal. That we're working towards a greater purpose. It doesn't always have to be, a fiery burn in your heart. Your heart will hurt, yes. But it doesn't have to be to the point where you can't function. It doesn't have to be like that. You can still progress, heal in life, be happy, enjoy life, and still miss the person that you've lost. That's what I'm saying. It's okay to miss the person, but it's not okay that you missing the person stops you from living. That's the part that's not okay. It's okay to feel better today. It's okay to laugh today. Even though there's an ache in your heart, it's okay to laugh today. It's okay to think about them and cry. It's okay. But don't let it stop you from living, is what I'm saying. Don't let that stop you from living. I do my work every day. Like I said before, I lost my daughter. So I do my work every day. Every day I have to speak to myself. Every day I have to encourage myself. And I come up here to share my experience. I come up here to tell you the work that I'm doing in hopes that it can help you. I can't reach everyone. The people around me, I do share with them. But I'm looking to reach across racial lines and religious lines and social barriers. I'm looking to reach across that and tell people, I hear you. I see the pain. It doesn't always have to be this hard. It doesn't always have to be like this. If you can accept the skills of coping with the loss, it will get easier. I'm speaking from experience. It gets easier. I still cry over my sister that passed in 2008. I don't cry as much. I've learned how to cope with her not being here. But in the beginning, I did not cope well. There's 4 years. I don't even know what I did in those 4 years. 4 years is unaccounted for. Because I was angry. I was so depressed. I was hurt. but more angry than hurt. Because I just could not understand at this point in my life, in this level in my life, how could you take her from me? I had a complete 4-year tantrum. And that's just honest. I had a 4-year tantrum. I wouldn't speak to God. I wouldn't pray. I wouldn't have any dealings with him because I was angry. But when I realized that that's not helping me, I was like, girl, you gotta get yourself together. You can't punish God. I know you're hurt. I know you're upset. But you can't punish God because he took your sister. Who do you think you are? How do you know that she wanted to be here? I didn't know. I don't know what she secretly prayed about. I didn't know if she was tired and didn't want to do this anymore and God had mercy on her. I didn't know that. What I do know is this. To be absent from the body is to be present with God. I do know that. And I knew that that was her desire. It was bad timing for me. I had a complete tantrum. It was bad timing for me. For me, her children, they were grown, but it's still, that was their mom. I was mad at that. I'm mad that these kids have to now achieve all of these great things without their mother being here. I couldn't even comprehend that. I didn't want to comprehend that. I was very, very angry. However, in my reconnection with God, I realized that it's not up to me the time frame that we have these people in our lives. We're all here temporarily. We're all here temporarily. So you take your experience of having that person in your life and you use that to carry you and to help. She would never want me to disconnect from God and to try to punish God and not commune with God. She would never want that. That was the little girl in me having a complete tantrum because my sister was not here. That was like my worst nightmare. How can I be living my worst nightmare? But it prepares you. It prepares you. Everything in your life prepares you for what's to come. You can't fight against it. Everyone living on this earth is going to die one day. Either they're going to die or be raptured. But I'm telling you, we cannot control who lives and who dies. We can't control that. It's all up to God. What we can control is our response. How you respond. I didn't respond positively to my sister's passing. I did not. But I've learned that that's counterproductive. That doesn't help anyone. So my response to losing the people I lost after her looked very different. It wasn't always the greatest, but it looked different. It wasn't that severe. So I've learned and accepted my healing, but I don't hurt like I did in the beginning. It has gotten better, but I still hurt. So that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't mean that I love her less because now I can speak her name. Now I can say the little funny things that she said, and I can reflect back on our conversations without having a complete breakdown. That's healing. That's healing. That's what I mean. And once you accept the fact that you're doing better today than what you did when it first happened, that's accepting your healing. I would not accept it for 4 years. I would not accept the fact that she was gone for 4 years. Even though I had her children who looked just like her. I could have just been around them and just accepted my healing through that, but I did not. I was very angry that she passed. I was very angry. And I would not accept the healing. But I've come to accept the healing. So it's a process. It's a slow process, but it's a process. It's much better today than it was in 2008. That I can tell you. It's much better today. I can speak her name. I can look at her pictures, although it's still very hard. But I'm better with that now. So please, however your progress of healing is, embrace it. Do not be afraid to heal. It's okay to heal. It does not mean that you love the person any less. That's what I want you to get out this video. Healing is a good thing. It does not mean that you've forgotten the person. It doesn't mean that you love them any less. It does not mean that. You're actually honoring their memory by healing and sharing your experience of them, sharing your experience of the relationship that you had with them, and helping someone else do their work or get started with their healing process. Thank you so much. I hope these videos are helping you guys. It's a 3-part series on fear and the elements that set in after the grieving process, and these are the elements. It is fear of transparency, fear of identification, fear of healing. Please go back and watch the videos. They're all under my YouTube name, The Pretty Truth Remains. I really hope that you guys share this with someone who is going through a tough time. I really would like for these videos to help them. When I was going through my process, when I lost my daughter, YouTube basically saved my life, to be honest with you. It was YouTube that kept my mind occupied with positive things because I was not having healthy thoughts. Which brings me to my point. The next series that I'm going to do is going to be the spirit of suicide. I've always prayed about the spirit of suicide for years. I'm going to share some really intimate stories with you guys on how it affected me. And I hope that series will reach who it's supposed to reach at the right time. It's a series that's dear to my heart. It's a topic that's dear to my heart. And I'm willing to share it so that it too can help someone else. I will share the tools and the things that I've done to combat the spirit of suicide and suicidal thoughts. And I pray that these videos reach the people that they need to reach in the right amount of time. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry if it's heavy, but this is what it is. I'm allowing God to lead me in how to do these videos, and I can't apologize for that. All I can say, if these videos are not for you, you don't have to watch them. But please, if you know someone that could benefit from these videos, please share it with them. Thank you so much. And remember, there's 24 hours in a day. What you do with yours is your business. But for me, I'm going to make mine count. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.